All right, from the sublime to the ridiculous, it's time for drinking news.
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
had to take my gator to the vet.
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all. Well, Drinking News is our segment of the program where we bring you a story that is it's a true story, the best we can tell. It's not a parody or a joke. It's something that actually happened, was reported in the news, and it is sometimes, but not always, about drinking, but it's always best enjoyed if you've been.
Drinking is really thirsty work, you know.
Yeah, it really is. And by the way, I didn't mention this during the break, but we're ready to jump into another beer either at the end of the segment or the following one. If you've got something else for us to try, you can go ahead and dig it out while we do Drinking News.
Nudge.
Nudge.
Well, say no more.
We begin today's edition of Drinking News with a question for you, dear listener. Have you ever met or become aware of someone so enchanting, so beautiful, so absolutely sexy and alluring that you would be willing to actually drink their bathwater? You know, love and lust and
I
infatuation.
don't know what situation you'd be put in where you have to do that.
This is not a thing you would have to do. This would be something you see. Love and lust and infatuation, they're crazy things, and they can make a person do crazy things. Having done some crazy stuff myself, I will, however, admit that I've always drawn the line just a little short of drinking someone's bathwater. But actress Sydney Sweeney.
You thought to have that line there.
Yeah, it's important to have boundaries, right? Actress Sydney Sweeney from the very sexy show Euphoria, which I have to admit, she looks absolutely sizzling hot in those TV commercials that she did for Dr. Squatch's line of body wash for men. Sydney has now taken things one step further. Oh, YouTube it. It's worth the watch. But Sydney has now taken things one step further. And yes, that's right, all you horny and excessively weird dudes, be on the lookout for a new product.
Hey, don't kink shame me.
From
What about
Dr.
the horny, not
Squatch.
weird ones?
New product from Dr. Squatch called
Dr. Squatch.
Sydney's Bathwater Bliss, which is made in part from, you guessed it, Sydney Sweeney's actual bathwater.
Wow.
Sydney says fans had been actually asking her for her bathwater. So this was a way to give them what they want.
Why was some...
Because she was in this commercial for like men's, body wash, right? And in it, she's in the bathtub. Obviously, she's, you can't see any nudity or anything, but she's in the bathtub and she looks smoking hot. And she's talking about the body wash, and I guess guys got excited and started, messaging her and telling her they wanted
This is
the
what
bath
happens
water.
when you advertise for the 18 to 25 audience.
I don't know what to say about that.
16 to 25.
Sydney says because fans have been asking for a bathwater, that this was a way to give them what they want. My hope, she says, is that it gets guys to think about taking care of themselves and cleaning themselves with some healthy products.
Yep, that's actually what they're thinking about when they put that on.
What she's trying to say is it's called soap, guys.
I think the actual emphasis there may have been on taking care of themselves. I haven't seen an actual...
Wait a second. You know that?
It's called the
Thank you, Terry.
It's called the lawnmower. Have you not seen this on Manscaped?
I haven't seen an actual bar of this soap, so I don't know if it comes with this warning, but I will give it to you anyway. Guys, don't lick the soap, okay? Please. I will also neither confirm nor deny that Drinking News has reached out to Dr. Squatch, which is a very naughty-sounding name, by the way, to ask if they'd be interested in sponsoring the show. You'll just have to stay tuned about that. But our main story today in Drinking News takes us back to a place that is a frequent source of material on this segment of Smokin' and Toastin'. Specifically, a bus stop in the Clearwater area of the Sunshine State, where police were called because 56-year-old James Bundrick, a Florida man, was reportedly touching himself in a lewd fashion
Florida man stuff.
while he waited for the bus. When officers arrived, they found the Florida man with his hands in his shorts, taking his talents to South Beach, as it were.
A little bit of pocket pool.
Or as they might say on Star Trek, causing a small singularity that shifts the chronoton particles in one's hull to emit a positronic burst.
Left ball to the corner pocket.
Or as the cops put it more simply in their report, despite the fact that he told them he was only scratching himself, the Florida man was clearly masturbating.
Smell my finger.
Now, why do I bring up Star Trek, you might ask? Well, number one, because I am a certified Trekkie.
Wait, was he wearing a red shirt?
Or a Trekker, as the show's fans prefer to be known. Although I would describe myself as a more casual Star Trek fan. As I like to put it, I will go to the Star Trek convention, but I won't wear the pointed ears. That's
you
where
don't speak Klingon in public.
Boundaries, that's important. But the real reason I bring up this classic sci-fi show in the context of this story is because while being arrested, the 56-year-old Florida man told police that his name was James T. Kirk. Now, it turned out, of course, that the man was neither an admiral with Starfleet nor the captain of the USS Enterprise, but just a Florida man named James Bundrick. He was arrested on charges of...
Oh, that's not the same as James Tiberius.
No. He was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and providing a false name to law enforcement. Now, obviously, the cops knew that he wasn't actually Captain Kirk. I mean, Captain Kirk would never be waiting for a bus. Except he did. In Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, when he and the crew of the Enterprise went back in time to modern-day Earth to save a pair of humpback whales named George and Gracie. I swear it made sense to me when I saw the movie. Anyway, the point is, it has been very well established that in the time of Star Trek, that time travel is a thing that is possible. And so, while it's unlikely, it is certainly not inconceivable.
You just have to fly backwards around the world real fast.
Around the sun, yeah, slingshot around the sun. It's unlikely, but it's not inconceivable that Captain James Tiberius Kirk could have been sitting at a bus stop in Florida waiting for a bus. But why would he have had his hands in his pants working on the captain's log? I can actually think of several. Which is why
do I feel like that was a long walk for that?
It doesn't matter how long the walk is. It matters what you find when you get there.
It was great. It was amazing.
I can actually think of several reasons
I feel used.
why this might have occurred.
That was great.
And that's why I've now completely disappointed my own parents and extended family by crafting my thoughts into another handy, but not at all asked for, drinking news top 5 list. This would be the top 5 reasons Captain Kirk might have been spanking the Talaxian monkey at a bus stop. Top 5 reasons Captain Kirk might have taken matters into his own hands. Number 5.
Wouldn't it be in his own hand? I mean, he was just using one. Right?
Yeah. Number 5. He became so aroused while watching Klingon porn on his tricorder that he forgot where he was. Number 4, a strange transporter malfunction beamed down one guy to the bus stop who was half Captain Kirk and half Pee Wee Herman. Number 3, he actually was scratching. Those interstellar crabs he picked up on Talos 4 itched like a Danubian tentacle worm.
Trouble with tribbles?
Number 2,
You said what? Danubian tentacle worm?
Number 2, became confused about planetary culture. Thought that this was the way bus passengers on this planet say, live long and prosper. And the number 1 reason Captain James T. Kirk might have been spanking the Talaxian monkey at the bus stop. Number 1, he'd bought a bar of Sydney Sweeney's Bathwater Bliss and he just couldn't help himself. Reporting live from Clearwater, where the city council has just introduced a bill to rename the city Sydney's Bathwater, Florida. My name is Cruz, and that is your
Drinking news. That's our time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all.